Animal rights groups have started to push the Atlanta City Council to ban recreational horses from the city. That's after the death of a horse in Midtown Sunday. The Georgia Animal Rights and Protection Group says both carriage horses and private citizens riding the horses in town should be stopped. Fox 5's Alexa Liaco is live downtown with more on this effort. Alexa.
Well, Deidre, the horse that died collapsed right here in front of an ATM and a bank on a busy downtown street right here at Peachtree and MLK. And animal rights activists say now is the time for City Council to act so something like this doesn't happen again.
Horses just don't belong on the streets of Atlanta, period.
Julie Robertson of the Georgia Animal Rights and Protection Group has spent hours documenting what she sees as a growing trend, horses running through traffic in downtown Atlanta.
And now watch, they're going to just weave straight through traffic, just taking over the streets.
So when she heard a horse collapsed and died in downtown over the weekend,
it's sad, but I wasn't surprised.
Not surprised because she's seen other situations like this. She says horses are being put at risk for injury or death, and these moments are why her organization is renewing its call to the Atlanta City Council to ban horses, both carriage horses and those owned by private citizens, from Atlanta streets. She says they're a danger to themselves and the public.
When a horse spooks, a horse will just go in any direction. The horse could easily jump in front of a car.
GARP has worked with the City Council on a recreational horse ban in the past year, but it did not come to fruition. But Robertson hopes this latest loss will inspire action for everyone's safety.
Let's do something before a citizen of Atlanta gets hurt or killed.
And at this point, we are still waiting to confirm if the owner of the horse who collapsed and died here will face any charges. Live in downtown Atlanta, Alexa Liaco, Fox 5 News.
We have breaking news in Newton County. 2 people are dead, 1 critically hurt in shootings at 2 different scenes. The manhunt for the suspected shooter ended in South Carolina.
Yeah, all of this started inside a Walmart on Salem Road in Covington. It then continued at a home about 2 miles away. And Good Day's Mark Teichner is live for us in Newton County. And Mark, this all happened as workers were just stocking the shelves, doing their jobs.
And they were all workers who were involved in all of this. I'm going to step out. We are at the second location, that home, where a female, a Walmart employee who's been identified by family friends as being a 22-year-old, and those family friends telling us the girlfriend of the alleged shooter was shot and killed. But it actually started at the Walmart on Salem Road, about 2 miles from our particular location, about 1:30 in the morning. That's where, according to sheriff investigators, a male employee who was working during the overnight hours, the store was closed at the time, went out of the store, got a gun from his car, went back into the store and shot and killed a male co-worker. He then, allegedly as he was leaving, shot another male co-worker, critically injuring him before he came to the location where we are right now and shot and killed this 22-year-old female co-worker as well. Now, all of these folks, again, were acquaintances, according to the sheriff's investigators. They knew each other, but after the shooting took place, the gunman then apparently fled out of state, according to investigators, and he was captured in South Carolina, in Aiken, South Carolina. And as you can imagine, the folks from the Newton County Sheriff's Office are extremely appreciative of the effort that it was to bring this man to justice.
We appreciate the help from Georgia State Patrol, South Carolina State Patrol, the Covington Police Department, and we had South Carolina State Patrol and the Sheriff's Office from South Carolina.
Yeah, the Walmart, though, remains closed at this point. Told it might open up later on in the day, but that is the latest from the scene here in Newton County. Back to you guys in the studio.
Developments in the last couple of minutes. Mark, thanks so much.
I sat with my lifeless daughter body on that floor for over 30 minutes, almost about 40 minutes. I sat there.
Tonight, a devastated mother in Newton County wants answers from police after her daughter was shot and killed right in front of her.
19-year-old Akilah Clark is one of 3 people shot by a Walmart co-worker on Friday morning. Clark and another co-worker died. The third co-worker is in critical condition tonight. Fox 5's Alexa Liacco is live in Covington now with the plea from the victim's family. Alexa?
They're absolutely devastated. They want to know why it took police more than half an hour, they say, to get from here, this Walmart location, to their home, just about 1 mile up the road from here, and how the shooter could evade police enough to cross state lines and stay out of custody for hours.
I'm in shock right now. My mind is all over the place because I literally witnessed my child being murdered in front of me, in front of my eyes.
It was just after 1 a.m. Friday when Samantha Clark's daughter Akilah rushed into her room.
She said, "Call the police."
Akilah said her coworker Dwayne was coming to their house, and moments later,
he kicked the door in, and then she said, "Stop." She did this, and she said, "Mommy." And she said, "Stop." And I proceed to run, and he just started firing about 7 to 8 shots. She fell on the ground.
The Newton County Sheriff's Office says Akilah Clark was killed after Dwayne Uda shot 2 other co-workers at the Walmart they all worked at in Covington.
Mr. Uda left the store, retrieved a handgun, re-entered the store, located a Mr. Khalif Barksdale, age 21 of Covington, and shot that gentleman. He then went up a couple more aisles. He located Ryan Bradley, age 29 of Covington, and shot that gentleman.
Ryan Bradley is in critical condition in the hospital. And after the shooter left the Clark's home, police say he fled to South Carolina.
South Carolina State Patrol located the gentleman. He then shot himself.
At this point, the motive for these shootings is still unclear. Uda will be booked into jail here in Newton County as soon as he's released from the hospital. As for the Clarks, they're just trying to answer how and why their daughter is gone.
No parent deserved this. Like, this is your home, supposed to be a safe place. It's not like she was at work or she was outside on the streets. This is her home.
And Clark's family says they plan to honor her life in the coming days with a balloon release. Her mom says Akilah always believed you could talk to those up in heaven by writing them a note and attaching it to a balloon, so that's what they want to do for her. Now, as for that shooter, the police say if he does survive, he will face a very long list of charges. Live in Newton County, Alexa Liacco, Fox 5 News.
Yeah, all right, Alexa, thanks. And let's turn our attention.
Now on News Edge, we turn to spring break. This week, thousands of students across Metro Atlanta are out of school.
And tonight, the chief of Panama City Beach's police department has a message for Metro Atlanta parents. News Edge reporter Rob D'Arienzo joins us here in studio.
So, Rob, specifically, what kind of issues are we talking about here?
Hey there, guys. Good evening to you both. Well, Panama City PD's chief says some of the spring breakers from Metro Atlanta are giving them some big problems, specifically gun violence. He says these aren't college students they're dealing with, but high schoolers, some of them as young as 14. The chief wanted to get on Fox 5 to share a serious warning to parents.
We are inundated with high school spring breakers from the Georgia, Atlanta metro area.
Spring Break 2025 has been something the police chief in Panama City Beach, Florida, has been dreading. He says drunk and unruly teens from Georgia and Alabama have swarmed the beach town.
It happens every single year. I have to make a phone call, and they're going to have to come down here and either go to the hospital, go to jail, or go to the medical examiner's office and retrieve their child.
This year, he's promising zero tolerance and strict enforcement. That will include a curfew from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m., along with checkpoints, bag checks, and beach closures.
Gun violence and spring break, unfortunately, have come hand in hand.
Just this week, he says a 15-year-old from Columbus, Georgia, accidentally shot himself in the leg. As these crowds seem to get younger and younger by the year, the chief has this warning for Georgia parents.
The parents in Georgia, if you're sending your kids down here unaccompanied, right, and you have any even remote issue or thought that they are not ready to go on vacation by themselves, call them back or do not let them come.
In Panama City Beach, the chief says it won't be as simple as come on vacation and leave on probation. They promise to hand out $500 fines and rides to the jail.
We are a welcoming town, but our patience is definitely about that much right now.
And so far this spring break, the chief tells me they've made about 700 arrests and citations. They didn't have the specific amount of Georgia residents that included. And it is only Tuesday, guys, so it could be a pretty long week ahead.
Yeah, just surprising that this is this big of an issue that he would take the time to send this message directly here to our area.
Yeah, and the fact that they're so young, again, 14, 15 years old. I wasn't going on spring break that young. So.
Yeah, hopefully not getting a $500 fine either.
Yeah.
No, I was a good boy.
There you go.
Good. We knew that.
Yes.
We have your first look at the suspect who investigators say robbed several fast food restaurants in metro Atlanta over the last 2 days, then caused a deadly crash in Buckhead as police chased them.
Fox 5's Tyler Fingert is live where that crash happened at the intersection of Peachtree and Piedmont with new details we're learning tonight. Tyler?
Yeah, Russ, good evening to you. This is such a tragic story. You can actually see where one of those vehicles came to a rest last night and some of the debris that is still here. The Georgia State Patrol says the suspect, who is wanted for multiple robberies, crashed into and killed an innocent driver while being chased by police. This is the aftermath of a police pursuit in Buckhead Monday night. 2 vehicles turned into mangled messes after a suspect wanted in a string of robberies at local fast food restaurants was chased by Atlanta police after spotting his car. That pursuit ended around 9:30 when the Georgia State Patrol says he ran a red light and struck a vehicle.
I heard a pretty violent noise. I was wondering what it was, and then saw the police cars leaving the station.
An innocent driver was killed and has been identified by the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office as 26-year-old Richard Wells Jr. from Highland Mills, New York. DeKalb County police say the wreck at the intersection of Peachtree and Piedmont Roads happened less than an hour after the suspect robbed the Chick-fil-A on Decatur Village Way off of Scott Boulevard. Police say he pepper sprayed employees, then stole the cash drawer. Sandy Springs police say the suspect did the exact same thing Sunday night at a McDonald's on Roswell Road after ordering fries and water.
The cashier came up to take the money, the transaction. The suspect pepper sprayed the victim, the cashier, and grabbed the cash drawer and fled the scene.
Sandy Springs police identified the suspect as Centario Barnwell. The agency is one of at least 4 involved in the case. After the robbery in Sandy Springs, investigators issued a bolo for him. They say they had him on video in a stolen gray Volkswagen Jetta. Investigators say the suspect's car had been used in at least 3 robberies since Sunday, 2 in DeKalb and 1 in Sandy Springs.
We don't often see that where pepper spray is used and reaching in through the window and grabbing the cash drawer. Unusual, but it's happened several times in the metro Atlanta area.
And medics rushed Barnwell to the hospital. We're told he is in custody, but at this point it's unclear if he has actually been booked into jail. We are live in Buckhead tonight. Tyler Fingert, Fox 5 News.
What started with gunfire at a quiet apartment complex in Marietta ended with a police chase and a crash.
Fox 5's Allie Levine is at Marietta Police Headquarters now. Allie, do we know what led to the shooting?
Well, Courtney, that is the question that investigators and residents of the Lakeside Town Center apartments here in Marietta have been asking really for much of the night. Here's what we do know today. 6 men have been arrested. 2 others are injured. 4 guns were confiscated and dozens of shell casings were found at the scene after this late night Marietta shooting.
I'm a little upset because my kids were home.
Following a night filled with gunfire, the light of day revealing little about motive.
Just like you, we have more questions than we have answers this morning.
What was the purpose? Because you could have killed anybody.
Naima Mahoney and her kids have called the Lakeside Town Center apartments home for nearly 2 years. She was at work when gunshots rang out around 10 o'clock Wednesday night.
When I came home around midnight, a little bit after midnight, I saw the cops' light.
Cars and apartments caught in the crossfire. 2 men were shot and showed up at Kennestone Hospital for treatment. At the request of Marietta PD, we are not identifying those men.
Simply because we don't know if there's still an intent to harm them.
Callers
Owners described a black BMW leaving the scene. Police caught up with that car just before the driver lost control and hit a power pole at the intersection of Polk Street and Mountain View Road. Inside, police found 6 men, 3 handguns, and a rifle. Those arrested are between the ages of 18 and 23. All are from the area. None live in this complex.
We want to hold all of these individuals accountable. That's where we really need the public's help.
As police investigate what happened and why, Mahoney awaits answers. Until she gets them, the mother sharing a message with those involved.
A kid could have been outside. You could have killed anybody. I'm sure it could have been resolved without gun violence being involved in it.
All 6 suspects are charged with felony aggravated assault with intent to murder and possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime. Police are really asking for the public's help trying to figure out what happened and, more importantly, why with this one. If you have any information at all, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. You can find that number on our website, fox5atlanta.com. Marietta PD also has an app where you can report information anonymously. Live in Marietta, Allie Levine, Fox 5 News.
Allie, thanks for the latest there.
Guzman walked out of the Clayton County Jail on March 27th, and today U.S. Marshals arrested him in Florida. Fox 5's Allie Levine joins us from the Clayton County Jail. Allie, what do those impacted by Guzman's crimes have to say about this whole ordeal?
Well, Courtney, we spoke to Christina Grayson this afternoon. Guzman murdered her 19-year-old daughter, Delilah, in 2022. And Christina Grayson, she has complicated feelings about Guzman's capture today. She is relieved, but she is also frustrated and confused as to how he was released in the first place. And 2 weeks after that happened, there are still many questions unanswered. In a written statement, Clayton County Sheriff Levon Allen says in part, quote, "The cause of the release is under investigation and disciplinary actions are pending." That could mean terminations. In October 2024, a jury found Guzman guilty of killing Delilah Grayson. On that same day, a judge sentenced him to 30 to life. He walked out of this jail around 5 months after his sentencing. He traveled 400 miles to Ocoee, Florida, where the U.S. Marshal Service's Regional Fugitive Task Force picked him up. Now, his victim's mother feels responsible for ensuring this never happens again.
I think I've had the biggest headache with him released. So I want to ensure myself that he goes from one place to another and that this never happens again. So, you know, if it's 30, 60, 90-day checks, then we'll do it moving forward.
Christina Grayson says she learned of Guzman's capture today from the district attorney. When we spoke with her, she had not heard anything from Sheriff Levon Allen down here in Clayton County. Now, coming up at 6 o'clock, we're actually going to hear from Kathan Guzman's mother as well down in Florida. For now, reporting live in Clayton County, Allie Levine, Fox 5 News.
Well, certainly a relief he's back in custody. Allie, thanks.